Hi, I'm Diane Gehart, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about my family therapy books with Cengage, because there's often a lot of questions about how they're different, how they're similar. So the two texts are Mastering Competencies in Family Therapy and Theory and Treatment Planning in Family Therapy. So the Theory and Treatment Planning book introduces students to more theories, but it really just focuses on treatment planning and case conceptualization. And so it's intended more for students prior to going out to the field to prepare them to think about and apply using theories. Whereas the Mastering Competencies textbook actually has more of the clinical forms that they'll actually use in the field, such as progress notes, clinical assessments with diagnosis included, the DSM-5 diagnosis, of course treatment plans, case conceptualizations, as well as going into evaluating progress with their clients. So it's more for students once they're out in the field. And I want to talk about some of the features of these books, because often folks aren't aware of it. The first is with the release of the third edition of Mastering Competencies, both books will come with a video series, and this is a specific video series that focuses on teaching students specific interventions or skills that are discussed in each of the chapters with each of the different theories. And actually my favorite part of this video series is that after the demonstration, and we try to keep these videos just half an hour to 45 minutes so they can actually be shown in class and people don't fall asleep before the end. But after this session, which is typically about 20-30 minutes, there is a debrief with the clients and the families about their experience of how they subjectively experienced the sessions with the therapist. And in most cases, the clients really steal the show and explain it in some ways better than the experts. So it's a really fun video series. It's available free to all faculty using the text, and students need to buy the MindTap version of the text, which is the online platform. It's integrated with Multimedia. It's more than just, it's an ebook that's got multimedia built in, note-taking systems, quizzes, and everything is kind of built into it, and then the students can have access. Perhaps in the future we'll find a way for students to get other ways for students to get access, but at the moment it's the MindTap version that has access for students to the videos. And along also with the text, another feature you will see in these books is that they all teach students to actually complete real-world clinical forms in the field. And like I said, for the textbook Theory and Treatment Planning in Family Therapy focus on the treatment planning part, which you can kind of do with case studies or videos, that sort of thing, whereas the Mastering Competencies has many of the forms the standard forms that people will use in the field. And all of these are correlated to the core competencies that faculty need to measure in order to obtain national accreditation. So we're hoping that this not only gives students very practical skills that they're learning in the classroom, whether they're working with clients or not, but it also integrates a way for faculty to use these forms in order to measure student learning for either their university or national accreditation. So we're hoping to hopefully lighten the faculty load with those. Another feature of these texts is that there is a pretty extensive diversity section for each of the theories that addresses cultural diversity, gender diversity, and sexual and gender identity diversity, and how these forms are applied, how each theory is applied to the different populations. And it also goes into a pretty extensive review of the evidence base for theories and includes several evidence-based treatments in family therapy. And so for the faculty, along with the rubrics and the ability to more easily measure student learning, the series also comes with sample syllabi. It comes with a test bank, a web quiz bank, and so a lot of what you would need to get started. And if you use the MindTap version of the book, the class is largely put together for you, and you can add pieces to it and take pieces out, and really, there are exams, there are videos actually embedded in the MindTap book where the student can watch a clip from a video and then either choose a response, type out a response, or actually video record a response that the faculty member then needs to grade. So it's becoming much more interactive learning platform, which is kind of an exciting thing to play around with in our field. In terms of the students, they have, many students report that they like the books because they are just written in a very down-to-earth, fun way, and also that there is a very structured approach that is used to describe each theory. And they use funny little things like the juice, key concepts, from the theory. Rumor has it to describe the different theories, and that kind of fun little language students report back often helps them just remember things. And so for the students, they have that piece that's very useful. And many students report that when they see that they're learning treatment plans at the beginning of their program, they're learning how to do progress notes and clinical assessments, and that having all this really practical work in their coursework really helps bridge the gap between the university coursework that they're doing and the field work that they're doing. So those are just some of the highlights and the differences between these two texts, and I hope that was a useful introduction to the books.